Boys, well done. How pleased are you to get a point here at Hill Dickinson tonight?
Yeah, it's a big point for us. I think we had probably chances to win the game as well, but I think they had a couple of chances as well. So on reflection, probably a fair result, but it speaks a lot about the character of the team. Going down 1-0, and we said at half time it's only one goal, whether it takes us up to 90 minutes, 95 minutes, but we knew we would get our own chances, and we did. And then even at the end, defended well when they were pushing for a winner, as we were as well. So yeah, not a bad result.
Was it especially important tonight, given the circumstances, everything that happened in the past 2 or 3 days with the change of managers? You needed to show a good sign to the fans after everything.
Yeah, I think it's always tricky when things like this happen, and I think the boys did a really good job today to focus on the game, and I'm happy with the point we took here.
And you were busy during the game, a lot happening that left-hand side. So how have you been feeling? Because it seems like you and Juve and Paquetá, you've been connecting really well on that left-hand side.
Yeah, I think the team knows me and Jarrod on the side just give us the ball, and we try our magic. So we try to do that today, and what Jarrod said, we went 1-0 down, and we stayed in the game, and our guy, happy with the goal, so very, very happy.
Nice strike, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, no, and you, there was a lot of things happening in the left-hand side, but you were very connected to what was happening because the goal obviously came out from you. Talk us through that strike. Nice strike.
Yeah, no, I just try and get in the box, and when it falls, and I feel like when I'm in the box, it's I know what I'm going to do before the defenders do, and I think for me it's just about hitting it towards the goal, and tonight it went in for me, so really happy with that.
You touched upon the character of the team and everything you guys showed tonight. What do you expect? How do you expect this team to react to another change of manager and a change of style as well? Because Nuno is a different manager from Potter.
Yeah, no, like I spoke to you before the game, I think we've all been in football long enough that, we know changes happen. Like I said, teammates go, managers go, but, we're professionals. We've been in the game long enough, and, we want to do well. And we've got a really good group here that really want to work hard and change our fortunes that we've done. And I think you saw that tonight. And we've had Nuno now for 2 days, and I thought we put in a really good performance. So it's about time, about putting the work in, about listening to the new gaffer. And like I said, we've got a group that wants to work, that wants to do well. So I think we're heading in the right direction, and tonight's a good start for that.
Yeah. How's it been this past couple of days for you guys, and what was the main message that Nuno managed to get across?
He didn't change a lot, obviously, save for 2 days, but. Yeah, I think we enjoyed ourselves today, and I think we're gonna build on this, and we go on Saturday,
And finally, for you specifically, you went through such a hard time with injuries last season. How pleasing has it been for you? Of course, it's been a tough season for West Ham, but for you in particular, to be showing this progress and showing so much on the pitch already.
Yeah, I'm just grateful to be back on the pitch playing, and I want to show the fans and the people what I'm capable of, and I try to do that. But I just enjoy every minute now.
Well, then, do the honors, Jarrod, player of the match.
Congratulations, brother. Very much. Thoroughly deserved.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, 3 starts in a row for Crysencio of Summerville, who was the player of the match. But I guess, Sean, if you're a manager walking into a club in the state of West Ham, somebody like Jarrod Bowen, his professionalism, his character is invaluable to the new manager.
Yeah, I thought it was quiet first half by his standards, but like good players do, they can come to life at any moment. And he gets a bit of luck with his finish, but he's hit it on target, he's hit it hard, you've got a chance, Drives me mad, players smashing over the bar, and that's the first thing. Get it on target, you've always got a chance. But I thought the 2 wide players really came to life. I thought Summerville was really strong in the first half and maintained it, to be fair to him. And Bowen arrived better in the second half. But it's good play here, I thought second half, they got behind Everton more, they played forward more. Good cross there, they deal with it, Keane gets a good header. Not sure about this when defenders have their arms by their side, I don't understand why they do it. But he's down the line of it, Mikalenko, and he hits it and he gets a bit of luck. But we were saying off air that sometimes you need that to change your fortunes. A set piece, a bit of luck, something that breaks for you, and I think they've got that tonight.
Yeah, we highlight Jordan Pickford as well. He's obviously not happy about something. I wonder whether he thinks maybe he should have stopped the counter-attack, brought his man down, Juff down, I don't know. He didn't seem to be happy, but you've managed him before. He couldn't shout about anything.
Yeah, he could row in a phone box on a football pitch if there was one. But No, he's a good keeper, obviously. He does know the game. I can't. Well, I think similar to you. He's obviously thinking that he should have brought him down or he shouldn't get done the knees. And what I would say, O'Brien went a lot higher in the second half. You know, first half he was a little bit more subdued. Second half, you saw him arriving on that back stick a lot more, which you can do. Mikalenko staying at home a bit more. But on that occasion, he's high up the pitch. They've got him behind him. Great run, though. I mean, credit to West Ham. It's a great run. You know, gets him behind him. It's a great ball in as well. And they get a better look with the finish. But overall, I think they've done enough tonight, West Ham. And I think Nuno, particularly second half, will have seen signs that please him.
You mentioned Mikalenko there defending arms behind back. It's not a good look, is it? Do you think when you know Jarrod Bowen wants to cut in on his left foot, did he have time to maybe push him down?
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
Or...
Yeah, I think if he can get there quicker, he's got a chance. But the distance didn't really allow him. By the time you put the brakes on your turn and then change your running gait to get out there, you know, it's quick stuff. And I think he's tried to get in the line of it, and he more or less has. The thing with the arms around the back, it looks weird, but players are under so much pressure now, you know, to not handle it, and it is getting more tricky. But I think he's done what he can. He gets down the line of it. I think Pickford's diving in the right direction. He probably saves it.
Yeah.
Like I said, a bit of luck, you know, and lucky for Keane, but he's hit it hard. He's hit it on target. Gets a bit of luck on this occasion.
Everton are probably still paranoid from their first game of the season with the lean, shall we say, of James Tarkowski.
Yeah, that was a harsh one, eh?
Well, we're still arguing about it now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I understand why, but I think that's a really harsh one.
So do I, but
yeah.
Michael thought
I'm in the middle. I thought it was a lean and a penalty.
But you can understand Everton's paranoia, I'm saying, with the arms out after that.
You can, yeah, and the last person you want is Bowen cutting in on his left-hand side. I mean, he can finish. I know he got a bit of luck this time, but he strikes it so well. He rarely misses the target. He always strikes it in a way where it's not just hit straight, it's always got a little bit of bend on it, a little bit of dip. He just hits a really clean ball, and any little touch is going to take it past Jordan Pickford. So, and I thought they did deserve it. Yeah. I mean, they did get in behind Everton a fair bit, especially on the left-hand side. Summerville was a constant threat. They had a bit of pace there, counter-attack quite well. So I thought it was probably a fair result in the end.
Yeah, Summerville, before that, forced Pickford into a very good save. O'Brien's mistake. He could have been on the score sheet himself this evening.
Yeah, I think he's done really well. I mean, I know he's had some injuries, and I think he was suggesting his second game of the season or second start. But I mean, Pickford's done brilliant there. I mean, fast reactions, which is a big part of his game, actually. But he's done great here. Summerville takes a chance. He's quick across a very short distance, and Pickford makes a fine save. But I thought he was alive all night tonight, and certainly players like him will give you that. He just adds a bit of spirit to the group, you know, and they see someone like that, and you know, the fans can look at one player, and it sometimes takes the heat off other players. You know what I mean?
Well, Jarrod Bowen, in case, because he's carried West Ham an awful lot. Jarrod.
Yeah,
Bowen,
I mean, he's got the England side. You know, he's obviously delivered over a longer period. You know, his consistency of what he does has been there for all to see, and he's turned into a very, very good player. I must say. I remember him in the Championship. We tried to sign him, but we couldn't get the money to do it at that time, many years ago at Burnley. But he's definitely turned into a very, very good player.
But someone like Summerville, if he can stay fit, 3 starts in a row, will on one side will help Jarrod Bowen on the other.
Well, that's quite a formidable 2 wide players. Summerville with his energy and his speed, and Bowen on the other side. It's quite good. There's something there. You know, we spoke about how hard it is to get attacking players that can score goals in these teams that are, let's say, not in the top 6 or 7. Well, straight away there, you've got Bowen. You're walking in as a manager and you can hang your hat on someone like Jarrod Bowen to score plenty of goals, probably in the teens every season, which is something that not many managers can do. So straight away...
Moyes can't, it would seem, at the moment, can he? So.
No, not at all. So straight away you look at that and you think, right, well, if I can just sort it out at the back here, concede less goals... They have definitely got some attacking players. Yeah, Paquetá, Summerville, Bowen. They've got some players that can score.
Let's say they're equally, you know, of course we concentrate on West Ham, rightly so, new manager, and they've delivered a decent performance away from home, but I don't think Moyes will be unhappy with that performance. No. I think it's just, he'll understand the reality of it. How can we get that second goal? How can we kill teams off completely, you know? And the crowd there a little bit edgy at the end of the game because they've started so strong at home, you know, new stadium and all the noise it brings, but... I think Moyes will be overall pretty happy with that. Not necessarily the performance in the second half, but, you know, 1-1 against side with the new manager and all that sort of stuff. I don't think he'll be too disappointed. But I think Nuno will be more pleased, especially with the second half performance, because there's more of an edge to it in the second half.
Let's hear from one of Sean's former players at both his former clubs. Everton's goal scorer tonight, Michael Keane.
Michael, you guys pushed it until the very end, but West Ham managed to find a goal in the second half. So how did you feel about the performance and how do you feel about the result?
The
bit mixed, to be honest. I thought we started the game well, got the goal, and then we lost a bit of control. I think it was a similar story in the second half. I think we started the half well and then lost a bit of control. And obviously they've got a new manager, and we weren't exactly sure how they were going to play, but we were confident that if we went out there and played well, we'd have enough to win the game. So really disappointed. It didn't quite work out how we wanted it to. We kept trying and trying, but yeah, it wasn't meant to be tonight.
They showed a lot of aggressiveness in the second half when they were in possession. Why was it hard to cope with those moments sometimes?
Well, I think they made it difficult to get the ball out to our wide men, to Jack and Illy. We obviously managed to do it sometimes, which we created chances, but probably not as much as what we have been doing. They kind of let us have the ball a bit more and made us find solutions. And I think sometimes we managed to do that and get in good positions, and other times we struggled. And that's something we need to work on as a team to try and get more clear chances to score goals.
And what about the goal? What do you think you could have done differently as a team?
I don't want to pick anybody out. I think we could have done a lot better in a couple of situations. That's not for me to say. I think it's a disappointing goal, one we'll look back on as a team and see what we can do better. Really disappointed because they had a lot of pressure, but I thought we defended well as a back four. I don't think Jordan had many saves to make. Just a bit gutted really. We couldn't get a clean sheet.
The positive, your goal. Talk us through that, because how much do you guys worked in the corners and crosses, and because you were able to capitalize in one of their weaknesses? Yeah,
we worked on it a lot. We worked on it a lot the last couple of days, as we always do. And me personally, I just saw a bit of space at the front post, and I wasn't exactly supposed to be there. I'm supposed to be around the back, but I saw some space there and thought I'm going to get in there and hope the ball comes. I know Jimmy can whip the ball in with a bit of pace, and thankfully he did that. When it first came in, I didn't think I was going to reach it, to be fair, and maybe it dipped just in time, and it was a good header, so I was happy to score, but I just wish we could have held on to the win.
Yeah, 9 years ago this week he scored his first Premier League goal for Sean in Burnley's 2-0 home win over Watford. You remember that one? Of course you do.
Of course.
That's when you were teaching him. But it was some finishes we said at half-time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he is a threat, you know that from...
Yeah,
from
absolutely,
match.
particularly aerial, but he's a fine finisher with his feet, but I just think he's done well to see the space. You know, like I said, I think it's hypercritical of West Ham, but they just let that gap appear in the box, and they crunch their defenders up at sort of middle and back end, and you can't really do that. You can't allow space in the box, but it is a good run. He sees it early, and it's a fine header, I must say.
Just nicks in front of Kilman, doesn't he, in that run to get the ball first. Maybe Kilman's a yard or two out of position. As soon as Bowen almost comes out and pushes in, he leaves a little gap, and I just wonder, Kilman's almost treading on Fulkud's toes there. I think he just possibly could come out a yard or two, close that space off, but I think it's more a case of good goal from Everton rather than bad defending. Great ball in, lot of pace on it, just needs that extra little flick on, and Michael Keane's your man.
And we're going back to the Everton strikers and goals. I mean, we used to have this conversation when you were Everton manager. It's important to find other areas of the field with other players weighing in when you haven't got that striker in the team.
Yeah, I think the hardship is to rely on it. You know, you don't want to be relying on it all season. So you are going to need your strikers to pitch in. Now, they've had a slow start. Hopefully they'll do better. Got good players from the wide now. You know, and Dyche's done really well. Grealish looks like he's... Well, certainly, this game a little bit more quiet. I thought credit to West Ham for slowing his game down because he's been on fire with assists. So it looks like they're going to create things, but you do need more goals from the front end of the pitch. You can't rely on defenders all the way through it, that's for sure. I mean, Moyes will know that, obviously.
Can't rely on it, but it's a bonus when they weigh in with them, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is a bonus, but that's dead right. You can't rely on that. You know, Michael Keane's not going to pop up and score every game, so they're the bonuses. When a defender scores, it's a bonus, but they really have got to find a way of getting their attacking players scoring on a more regular basis. If you can get that confidence with the attacking players, then you might start being able to score multiple goals in a game and not just one. OK, well, West Ham saw their captain score for their new manager. Here he is, Nuno.
Nuno, a good point here at Hugh Dickinson. What have you learned about your team tonight?
We are still learning so many things, Natalie. But like you said, it was a tough game. The reaction of the boys was good, and I think overall we compete well.
What are the main positives that you can point from that performance to build on?
There are some positive. There are some things that are not so. They are negatives, like you said. But it's about analyzing and trying to find the right solutions. How we should approach. Our message today was very clear. It's about competing as a team, being close to each other, and the boys did well. I think overall is a good first game for us.
Have a positive stat. It was the XG you guys faced tonight was the lowest so far this season, which points to a good performance defensively. So what do you put this down to?
That statistic is very has different readings. What I saw, I think, for example, in the goal that we conceded, we should have been more aggressive, more contact, closer to Keane. But in second half we started defending better. Everything starts from there, I think, and the team did well in that aspect. But like I said, things will come naturally. Now it's about taking the right steps forward.
Yeah. We've seen in your teams how strong defensively your teams can be. How is it to build this process of defending in a strong way, especially considering how many corners and crosses West Ham has conceded throughout this season?
It's too soon to say that what the boys did today is too soon to have this kind of analysis. It's not about my team or no, it's not that. I think the team was well in defense. A lot of things that we have to improve. A lot of things. But this game is going to be the main tool for us to move forward. Now we're going to analyze. Like I said, it's all about knowing the players better, trying to take the right decisions in the right moments. Everything now is very, very soon.
You inherited a squad that was constructed by different managers recently in a short period of time. How do you see this process of installing your ideas and also mostly creating an identity to the team?
It's so difficult. It's so hard. It takes so much time. And our approach is simple. Day by day, the best of us every day.
Do you have the profile of players to play that transitional attacking that we've seen in previous teams from you?
We are knowing each other. Maybe in some time we can identify better and have a proper answer to your question, Natalie. Now we are knowing each other. It's all about competing. Every ball matters. The message was clear. And the boys are slowly, I think, understanding that a football match is also about how we close our own goal, how many chances we can see. That's things that we have to work on. But it's too soon to me evaluating them and them evaluating me. It's 3 days. 3 days. It's nothing in our industry.
Thank you, Nuno.
Thank you, Natalie.
Had 2 sessions, of course, before tonight's game. I just wonder, when you go in, as you did at Everton, without a pre-season, and you have to hit the ground running and learn, like he is now, how quickly can you discover? Because you can look from the outside, can't you, and think that player, this player, that. It's only when you get in, really, and get on the grass with them, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, imagine there was a build-up to him taking the job, so you will have done your homework. You've got your analysts around you, you've got your coaches. I don't know how many he's taken in with him, but usually you've got a good feel of who's there and the players there, the type of players they are.
How different is that when you then see them day to day?
That's exactly what I was going on to. Of course, when you meet them, when you're working with them personally, it's not just about what you read on a piece of paper. It's about their personalities, their training personalities, their professional personalities, and how they can adapt to the challenge. You can work it out pretty quickly, though. The runners and riders in a dressing room, you and your staff will work out the leaders, the followers, the ones who need cajoling, the ones who need pushing. So I think you'll work that out, but it's formulating that system and that team. The things you'll be pleased about, I think, tonight, there was a graphic at half-time with the distances. They're much more of a Nuno-looking situation when they've conceded a lot of goals. Get people working as a unit. Keep on a piece of string, moving as an outfit. The wide players tucking in. Maybe too much first half, showed a clip of them doubling up and getting inside. Second half, they freed up a little bit, went more attack-minded, went forward quicker, played forward quicker. But defensively, I think he'll be reasonably happy that they've shored it up just a little bit. I thought the keeper was good tonight. I thought Aurelio had a good game. The back four began to work together second half more. So I think there's signs, like I say. You would expect it, but if I'm Nuno, I'm expecting a reaction. But there's signs there that West Ham can do better. And I agree with what you were saying. I think they can sort that out and bring sort of a solid field to their defensive side. They have got players who can go and create, I think.
And will that be, like, for instance, this week, his main focus? Will that be sort of repetition, Sean, in trying to get that into them?
Well, I'd be surprised if not. I mean, Arsenal next away. I mean, I'm thinking you're probably going to work on that. You need a, you know, people speak about me being a defensive coach. His record suggests he's similar in that respect, but it's a base to work from. You know, it's like most managers you don't want to win 1-0 every week, but you need a base to work from. And I think he'll be looking at a tactical base to get the players in an organised format, and then slowly, hopefully, you free up the fact they can play, you free up the fact that players have a bit of, you trust them more, and then they have a bit more licence to go and be themselves and bring what they can bring in an attacking format.
And that's how the game panned out today, really, wasn't it? I mean, they didn't really break free from that tight unit in the first half. In the second half, they actually broke well from that base, that foundation that Sean is talking about, and they looked dangerous. They looked much more dangerous in the second half. So I think it's better doing it that way round. I think Nuno will come off today thinking we really worked into that game, we got better and better, and something to build on.
OK, that is the view of Nuno. Here's the former West Ham and now Everton manager, David Moyes.
David, the team fought until the end, created a lot of good chances. So what is the overall feeling with the result, but also with the performance?
Disappointed we didn't take all 3 points. It was a home game, and it was an opportunity for us. I thought we had moments where we should have probably pushed the button a bit more and tried to get that second goal, but we couldn't quite get it, and we left ourselves open quite often for counter-attacks.
Yeah. 1-0 can be a dangerous lead. Is it more frustrating because you did have chances before and after their goal to score the second or the third?
Yeah, I believe so. Keane had a good chance with his head, I think, to make it 2-0 at one point. And then I thought we started the second half quite well for the first 20 minutes or so, and I thought it looked as if that would be, if we could get the second goal there, it would be all important. But we never really carved out a real clear-cut chance to make sure that we could get a finish. We had one or two, a couple of good shots, a couple of good bits of play, but nothing which really made me think that we'd missed a really big chance. But look, we had to deal with quick counter-attacks tonight, and in the second half especially, and it probably cost us the goal.
Yeah, and when you're in that situation, as we've talked about, and you're 1-0 up, is that at the back of your mind as a manager, thinking we haven't got a lot of goals in us, we haven't got a lot of chances in us?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is, but equally they've shown how solid they are defensively. So, you know, like we said, I do think overall, I think we've discussed it, and I think we all agree that West Ham deserved a point. But it still is it's a chance that goes in off a deflection. You know, they can go against you sometimes. But, you know, I had this sort of challenge at Everton as well. Can you score more than one? Can you take the maybe chances? You know, often do games you can score the real chances. What about the maybes? What about the half chances? If you've got a player who can do that, and you've got a player who can supply them half chances over a season, you're going to score. But just getting into them areas where someone who's got that bit more quality who can finish them chances, it's not just about. Nuno mentioned a good point, the XG thing. You know, we had a massive XG stat 2 seasons ago at Everton in the first 10 games. But it's the quality of the XG. You know, what is the XG? What does it really mean? It gives you a guideline, of course. I don't mind that. But the real quality in it.
Thankfully, we haven't got time to get Michael on XG. Thank goodness for that.